Welcome to Pollen Weather by Pollen Wise App. It's Wednesday, August 11th. I'm Landon Bunderson, and this is the place for daily allergy news and forecasts. Today we're going to talk about another sneaky allergen, but first we'll do the forecast. More wet weather in the east and southeast means low pollen levels or no pollen. Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma are also going to see a lot of rain today. Looking at the west and Texas, overall highs today are a little higher than they were yesterday, with a few more very high levels. Texas and Oklahoma likely to see a ragweed season peak sometime next week. Keep an eye out for that. Speaking of peak season, we thought we'd see mold through the roof in Chicago by now. Still watching and waiting. Mold held at bay in the east by that wet weather. No wet weather in south central California, as the region will turn in another poor air quality day. Salt Lake has some smoke keeping air poor, and the northeast coast has poor air quality as well. Temperatures are hot pretty much all over unless you're on the extreme west coast or in the high elevations of the west. Find some shade. If you've watched a few of our videos here, you've probably heard me say that showy flowers are not the major source of airborne allergens, and that is absolutely true. The top allergy plants don't have flowers with big petals, and they're not big and beautiful. That is something that you should always remember if you're in the middle of spring allergy season. Don't curse the apricot trees that are flowering. Also, if you're in the middle of late summer allergy season, you shouldn't curse the sunflowers. The rule of thumb is that showy flowers are attracting pollinators like insects, and the bland small flowers are using the wind to spread the pollen. Alright, but here's the twist. The pollen in those showy flowers won't get airborne, but they can be allergenic. So if you were allergic to ragweed pollen and you stuck your finger into a sunflower and then dipped that finger into your nose or mouth, you would likely have an allergic reaction. Now, you probably wouldn't do that, but a sunflower sitting in a vase on a table could drop pollen on the table, and that pollen might be picked up by your sleeve. And if that sleeve made it to your face, you would have an allergic reaction. The take-home here is that the allergenic plants have a lot of relatives with very showy flowers, and you could, in fact, have an allergic reaction if you got too close to one of them or happened to rub some of that pollen on your skin and then ultimately on your face. Just another thing to keep an eye out for as an allergic person. Thanks for listening. If you want to go back and listen to an episode, check out the Pollen Channel on YouTube.